Day special. Just took the S1000R on a little short ride here. Got some company over. The kids are covered for a brief period of time, so you gotta take your opportunities. Looking at some new bikes lately, and oh, I'm not gonna do that. And you know, some new used bikes, a few years old, etc. And I was looking back at the S1000R video. This is a 2015 S1000R. It's a standard model, meaning there's no electronic suspension on it. It's got a no quick shifter. It's a Gen 1. Even then, I think the Gen 1s had a quick shifter to get the up model. But anyways, it's kind of stripped. It's got the engine, it's got the ABS, the brakes, it's got the cornering ABS, all that good stuff. But you can't really shut them off without shutting everything off. It's just on or off, basically. So you're in road mode with like super protection. Well, you got nothing. It's just everything's off. But it's been a good run, and there really aren't many videos about this bike, especially for someone who's looking to get one of these that's used, because there must be a bunch out there that are well taken care of, I would guess, for a screaming deal. But my 2 cents, this may be the model for 99% of you. Because why would you want a bike that's so stripped, unless you planned on just shutting everything off, and you know, it doesn't have the electronic suspension, so you can put a new suspension on this and make it a track weapon. If you're experienced enough to not want any electronics, and you feel safe enough doing that, it's had a lot of fun on the track with this thing. I'm a beginner level track rider, obviously. Not really going to get it or going frequently enough to be competitive in any way. But for anyone looking at these bikes, I mean, this has been very reliable. The thing's never shut off on me, never shut down. I mean, the battery, I had no maintenance on the thing for years, from like 2015 to, it must have been 2020, sometime in 2020. And this original battery, you know, it would go sometimes a couple of months without being ridden. Battery's just fine. I have it on a charger now, finally. The engine's been flawless. I change the oil regularly. If I don't put on the mileage, then at least annually. I mean, it just doesn't give me any problems. You know, I've just done regular maintenance, clean the brakes, pads, oil changes, cleaning the bike, taking care of the chain, all that stuff. But nothing more. The only thing I did to it mechanically was I put a manual cam chain tensioner on it. BMW Motorcycles Escondido had a source of these things, and it got rid of a lot of that rattling sound. It sounded like a bag of nails when you started the thing up, which is pretty common with this engine. But the manual cam chain tensioner helps. So it's been a good run. You know, I might trade this bike in the next year or so. Which way? Let's do this way and that way back. And if you happen to run into a bike like this, you know, as long as you feel like the source is trustworthy, way to brake, man. You probably get your hands on a good machine if someone hasn't thrashed it, you know? Low mileage. I mean, this thing's got, what, 17,000 miles on it, 2015. I'm not putting a lot on it. I get 2 other bikes, so we ride the dirt bike more often, but you know, the way it works is you ride the dirt bike and then suddenly you miss the way the tires feel on a corner at speed, so you want to take this thing out. And then it's not just want to have the drama of the Harley, just the noise and the whole parade of it all. This guy is killing me. been great. One of the problems with this bike, I'm sure a lot of you guys who own these bikes would agree, it's when to get rid of it, because there's nothing it does wrong, especially if you like, I mean, if you like riding on the street and riding on the track both, and you go on some longer rides too, like a mini tour. I've taken on 3-4 hour rides out to, probably the furthest I've taken this is like the Malibu area from here. You know, you get up there, a couple hours, play for a couple hours, drive back. I mean, that's, you know, 6 hours, 5-6 hours on the bike all day. I think that was just fine. Arizona, killing me. That's one of the problems, is it works so well. It's hard to find a reason to move on, especially if you're not a journalist that just needs the content, you know, or someone who would do like links during come on YouTube, or even somebody who's just riding this kind of bike and going to track days is just more of their life. So they want something that's a bit more hard-edged, or just want to switch it up more often. The average Joe, man, it's hard. It's hard to beat this thing. I gotta get in front of this guy. He's gonna kill me. And it's good for little rips like this. You just hop on it and take 45 minutes and just blast around a little bit. Downsides to all these bikes, I'm sure it's getting even worse, is that they just want to perform. Like this thing wants to go through this corner doing 90 or 100. It just wants to lean over, and that's what I feel. And you just, it's frustrating, really. As you can see me in the past few minutes. It's not the car's fault, it's the area. I mean, live in Southern California, but near the coast, I mean, it's all jammed up. You gotta go east, and then it's hot, so I admire you guys at higher altitudes and cooler temperatures right now. But if you are, you know, I think a bike like this is perfect for somebody who's moving up from a middleweight naked. I had a Yamaha MT7. It was an FC07 at the time. It was the first year that came out when I bought it. Yeah, range. I'm coming right in front of you. It's one of those days. I'm not going to deal with your slowness. Right in the face. Great for me. I mean, I'm just under 200 pounds. It's a bit harsh if you start getting some bumps at speed, but all around, can't say I'm out riding the thing. Wish is the case for so many of us that actually have the, you know, the means to like afford something like one of these hyper nakeds, you know. I mean, people complain about this all the time, about suspension and not having an all-in setup and not having electronic dampers, but a lot of us, man, you're not going to know the difference. Myself certainly included in that. If I went back to back, I would, but nothing will be lost on twice a year track days and your lap times, you know what I mean? Gives you a thrill. You want the thing to start, you want it to be reliable. And then we'll get into the one of the things that bothers me about this thing is that you know, every year your service light will go off, even though there's nothing really to do other than take care of your oil. This guy's gonna learn how to use his mirrors. Glad you're going a different way, but I get that white Tesla in front of me. So this light goes off. Look under my dash. You see this upper right hand corner? Well, anyway, the upper right hand corner where it should be showing me my temperature, it's showing me service, which has been showing for 2 years now. I just don't feel it's necessary for a dealer to look at my bike, give it a once over for, I don't know, some sort of $200-300, change the oil. I mean, I can do that stuff. They really shouldn't do that to you. I mean, it's clearly some sort of scheme to get your bike going back to the deal and split the deal, which I understand the need for, but you gotta find better ways of doing it. I mean, I'd honestly rather add, you know, $1,000 to the price of the bike to not have it on there, give that to the dealer, you know. Scratch your back fee. Just only ride the bike, determine the method of maintenance if necessary, even way off warranty anyway. So that's probably, I'm guessing that happens with, you know, a lot of these bikes, especially the European ones that just need to feed the dealer. As you can see, this road could be fun. We're for Teslas on autopilot. But you know, also shows you the bike is chill, you know. 30 something miles, 30 to 8 miles an hour on this road. It's not clattering, it's not clanking. You know, things you hear about some of the Ducati engines going slower. I think Aprilia does a pretty good job of slow speeds from what I hear, and I'm sure the Yamaha does too, the MT-10. So when I rode the MT-10, it was just on the track. I couldn't play with the suspension on it. It is what it was, but it was just much softer and wallowy. There's a lot more movement going on in the suspension, a lot more dive, a lot more wiggle. It just, after hopping off this thing, it was a turn off. It may have changed quite a bit at this time. But anyway, there's absolutely no need to trade this thing in other than just wanting something different, which I think is a good point for people looking at this bike, because it's not like it's mechanical failures or inadequacies or reliability. It's something that leads you to get rid of the thing. I made a video a few years ago on this Wonderlic screen here. It makes a difference at speed. It took me a while to sort it out, but it certainly does on the highway. If you're tucking under it, you really feel it. You go from a regular, I'm 6'2", so I'm hovering right above that thing, but I can still feel it if I sort of get down on the highway and I'm getting hit by the wind a little bit. So I think it's, other than the looks, which are certainly polarizing, maybe not polarizing, just bad, it's probably a better way to put it. It adds something to function. I think it's worthwhile. Great place to stop, just after a corner and on a hill. good place to park the family and hope for the best. Sundays, we'll be saying your prayers, man. Other downsides, the bike runs hot, so if you're in the city and traffic a lot, it's not going to be your best friend. You're not going to utilize what the bike wants it to do. It's not the most sit-up comfortable, you know, just hang out all day at red lights. And, yeah, it gets hot. I'd like to let you know, I don't know what's going on with the drivers here, but there was no stop sign there or anything. You just suddenly just stopped your vehicle for no apparent reason. There's some difficult ones out here today, I'm telling you. Brakes are phenomenal. Always have been. So I don't think this is my farewell video on this awesome machine yet, but I think next year we'll see. It's either probably gonna be a Super Duke, Tuono, or something in the middle category, something that can ring out a little bit more in the street, you know? Like an 890R. Or even like a Tuono 660, you know? Something you can just dig into. I never had more fun in a car than this little Volkswagen Golf I had. It had a lawnmower engine in it. It was so slow, but the suspension was great. I upgraded that, and it was just a go for it. I just whipped the thing around and used every bit of what it had. It's cliche, but a true one, you know? Driving a slow vehicle fast is more fun than driving a fast vehicle slow. It's true. Yeah, the bike's happy. It's not, it doesn't sound funny, it doesn't feel funny, it's pretty smooth. Vibes in the handlebars, well, I took the bar weights off to put these cute things on. There's always some punishment for trying to be cute, you know? I had that coming. But yeah, it's fine. It's not that the bike is unhappy. It's just its capability. It yearns for you to push it, you know? So the new S1000R, I'm curious to see if any of you guys upgraded. I don't think there's many people that watch this channel that ride BMWs. You've got a few Harley people out there, but if anybody does have any experience on that new S1000, let me know what you think. The way I see it is, you start loading that thing up with the options you want, and you wind up $20,000 on a bike that has a very similar engine as the last generation, without, you know, a lot of drama, which is another downside of this. It's, to makes a good noise when you're on it, but at regular speeds like this, it's not going to excite you from the sound. Not with a stock exhaust, at least. But 20K for the, you know, the new model with reported flat spots somewhere in the mid-range, and an engine note that isn't one of the best. I just have a hard time parting with that much cash for that. You know, if you spend 20K, you want something with some drama, something that feels more exotic, you know. The reality is that that new S1000R is probably a better overall bike than most of its competitors in terms of reliability and just general function and comfort. Let's see what we got up here. I think I'm just going to give up on this. There's just so many cars. What can we do? Right, look at that. I just got Hyundai'd. I got Hyundai'd. So this guy's got the right idea on that Supermoto. Can use much more of that. Not a fan of QUs from Ford, Maserati, anybody that knows something that's supposed to handle. We just cut this thing's legs off intentionally. Sell it to a soccer mom for a high price. It's horrible. Another one? Oh yeah, Ford QU. Gets up there.